Okay. Advent of Europeans to India is our lesson. And here, today we are going to discuss about the advent of other two European powers, the English and the French. Okay. So, you know, no children, in which year English came to India? English East India Company was established in which year? In which year was English East India Company established? Nivedita.
1600.
Correct answer. Okay. In the year 1600, English East India Company was established. And who was the Queen of England at that time? Who was the Queen of England at that time?
Smith, Ashwit, Nitin Shetty, Aniket.
Aniket?
Queen Elizabeth.
Queen Elizabeth, exactly. Okay. So in the year 1600, English East India Company was established in England. Okay. So there, it was a private company, it was not a government company, children. It was a private owned company, English East India Company. Okay. So according to the rules and regulations of England at that time, now also, okay, if any private company wants to trade with the other nations, okay, then it had to take the permission of the government. Same conditions, same rules prevail now also, right? So at that time also it was the rule in England. So this English East India Company, it got the permission or it got the charter. Here charter means, children, license. Okay. So here charter means license. So it got the license, it got the charter from Queen Elizabeth to trade with India for next 15 years. Okay. So from 1600 to 1615. So during this time, it could trade with India. License was given by Queen Elizabeth to East India Company. It means that after 1615, means after the completion of 15 years, East India Company had to again take the license. It had to get its license renewed. Understood? So in the year 1600, it got the license from Queen Elizabeth. Then in which year English really came to India? They really came to India in the year 1613. Officially, they came to India in the year 1613, and during that time, Mughals were ruling India. Okay, you remember, no? Mughal Empire, Akbar, then Akbar's son was Jahangir, Jahangir's son was Shah Jahan, right? So, Akbar was not ruling then. Akbar's son Jahangir was there. You remember, no? 1556, Akbar's battle, second battle of Panipat. Akbar ತುಂಬಾ ದೀರ್ಘವಾಗಿ ಆಳ್ವಿಕೆ ನಡೆಸಿ ನಂತರ who had come to rule? It was Jahangir. You have to remember Jahangir's name because it was Jahangir who gave permission for the English East India Company to establish their trading center in Surat. Okay. So that day you have seen, no? Surat is located in the coast of Gujarat. Okay. So in the coast of Gujarat, this Surat is located. At that time, it was a very important trading port. Okay. So in Surat, British established their first trading center. So landmark year is 1613. Okay. Then comes the next important year, that is your 1617. So in this year, a very important person from England comes to India, and his name was, children, Thomas Roe. Okay. What was his name? It was Thomas Roe. Remember his name? Thomas Roe was the English ambassador. He was the royal ambassador from England in the court of Jahangir. Okay. Then in the court of Jahangir, he requested Jahangir to allow him to establish his trading centers in other places of India, and Jahangir agreed. So Jahangir agreed and he allowed him to establish the trading centers in 4 places. One is your Surat, already they have established. Then second one is your Ahmedabad. You know, no children, Ahmedabad, it is located in Gujarat itself. Then comes your Brouch. That you have seen, no? Who has switched on your mic? Check it and switch off it. Okay. See, Surat located in Gujarat. Second place is Ahmedabad. It is also located in Gujarat itself. Then comes Brouch. Bharuch, it is called today. Brouch, Bharuch, it is also located in Gujarat itself. And the fourth place is your Taj Mahal's place, which is that one. Taj Mahal's place, which is that one. I want the name of the place with its state.
Sahana.
Sumit, you go for the answer.
Agra.
Very good. In which state is it located? In which state is it located? It is located in the state where Varanasi is also located.
No.
You don't know? Okay, Ashwit?
Uttar Pradesh.
Very good. Correct answer is Uttar Pradesh. Agra, it is located in Uttar Pradesh, no? So here also, Jahangir allowed British to establish their trading center. Okay. So 4 places: Surat, Brouch, Ahmedabad, and Agra. Okay. Then what happened after that? After that, in the year 1639, British, they were ambitious people, no? British East India Company, British, they were very ambitious. ಮತ್ತು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ they have observed the conditions in India and they have understood what amount of profit they could earn in India. So that is why in the year 1639 they took Madras. Okay, today is Chennai. English named it Madras. They took Madras from the king of Chandragiri and they built a fort there and they gave the name Saint George Fort for that fort. Okay. So in the year 1639, the Raja of Chandragiri, he gave Madras to whom? British. Okay. And he allowed British to build a fort and they named it as what? Saint George Fort. It happened in the year 1639, children. Then comes about Mumbai. You have understood now the main places which have grown today as metropolitan cities, which were built by, which were developed by English in India were Madras. Then comes your Mumbai. Then comes your Kolkata. 3 places. Today they have grown as the metropolitan cities. No. So Madras, English got it from Raja of Chandragiri. Then it was a very small village. Okay. So ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಸಣ್ಣ ವಿಲೇಜ್ ಆಗಿತ್ತು. Then comes your Mumbai. ಮುಂಬೈನ ಕತೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಮಜಾ ಉಂಟು. You should listen to me carefully. ಮುಂಬೈ ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, this Mumbai actually some Indian kings have given that place to Portuguese. Okay. So Portuguese ಗೆ ಮೊದಲೇ ಮುಂಬೈಯನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಯಾವ್ದೋ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ರೂಲರ್. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ the Prince of England married the Princess of Portuguese. Okay. So this Portuguese king, he gave Mumbai, our Mumbai. Okay. See, where is England located? You know. Where is Portuguese located? You know. Both of them are in Europe. Okay. So the king of Portuguese gave our Mumbai to the English prince as a dowry. Okay. So dowry part agi English king ಗೆ ಯಾರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರು ಅದನ್ನ? Portuguese ರಾಜ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದ. Portuguese princess had married the prince of England. Okay. So ಈಗ ಏನಾಯ್ತಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ the king of England, the prince of England owns Mumbai, no? So he gave that Mumbai to English East India Company for an annual rent of some 10 pound. Okay. For some 10 pounds as an annual rent, English prince Charles II, he gave Mumbai to English East India Company. Understood? So in this way, English East India Company got Mumbai in the year 1668. So you have understood how English East India Company got Madras now. you have also understood how English East India Company has got Mumbai. Okay. Then comes your Kolkata. How did they get Kolkata? So, this English East India Company purchased 3 villages from the ruler of West Bengal then. Okay. ಅವ್ರು ಯಾರೋ ಮುಗಲ್ಸಿನ subordinates ಆಗಿದ್ರು. They sold 3 places to English. So names of 3 places were, one is Sutanauti. Okay, what is the name of that place, children? Sutanauti. Then second one is Govindapura, children. Okay. Then third one is your Kalikatta. At that time, Kolkata was called Kalikatta. 3 places: Kalikatta, Sutanauti, Govindapura. These 3 places were sold by the subordinate ruler there to the English East India Company. Okay. Then what did English East India Company do? Again, it built a fort there and it gave the name Saint William's Fort. Understood? So, in Kalikatta, English East India Company built a fort called Saint William's Fort. Then around this city, around these 3 villages, Sutanauti, Govindapura and Kalikatta, Kolkata got developed. Okay, understood? So, in this way, English East India Company established their forts in 2 different places. In Mumbai also they had built their fort, and then in these 3 places, because see, almost they have, now it is their own, they were their own places, because Madras they got it from Raja of Chandragiri. These 3 places of Kolkata they have purchased it for them. Okay. Mumbai they had got it from their ruler itself, right? So that is why these 3 places now they became the presidencies of English East India Company. They were called the British presidencies: Madras, your Bombay, and Kolkata. And in these 3 places, they started their own rule. They started their own criminal and civil laws there. Understood? Okay. So this is about the advent of English to India, how they got the today's important places of India at that time. Any doubts, children? Please, if you have any doubt, raise your hand. Now, I will share the screen for you. Just to go through the page once. Okay. So, go through the page once. English. 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 Yes. So now the page is on your screen. Once you go through it, so that you can memorize the things. Second page. English part 2. Yes. Close. English part 1. Yes. Close. Screen. Share. Okay. Huh? So understood, children? Any doubts there? Okay. So let us continue with the next part, that is about the French. Okay. So French East India Company was established in the year 1664. Okay. So remember this year. In the year 1664, French East India Company was established, and French East India Company, it was a government company. See, you should know this. It was a government company. As it was the government company, it lost its, it was one of the reasons for the French to lose their power in India. It was not a private company, it was a government company. Okay. Then next one is, they came to India and they also established their first trading center in Surat only. Okay. So in Surat, they established their first trading center. Then they established their other trading centers in India. I will tell you the names. Okay. So first one is your Pondicherry, Puducherry. At that time, it was called Wali Kandapuram. Okay. It was called Wali Kandapuram. So, Wali Kandapuram, French, they got it from a Muslim officer, and later they named it Puducherry Pondicherry. They called it Pondicherry, now it is called Puducherry, and it is one of the union territories. You remember, no children? Puducherry is one of the union territories of India. So, it was a trading center, French trading center. Then Mahe, okay. Now Mahe, it is located in the coast of Kerala actually. ಕೇರಳದ ಸ್ಟೇಟಿನ ಮಧ್ಯ ಈ ಮಾಹೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಕೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಮಾಹೆ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೇರಳ. ಓಕೆ, ಮಾಹೆ ಈಸ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪುದುಚೇರಿ. ಪುದುಚೇರಿ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಟೆರಿಟರಿ ಏನಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದರ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಯಾವುದು? ಮಾಹೆ. ಪುದುಚೇರಿ ಈಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಕೋಸ್ಟಲ್ ಉಂಟು ತಮಿಳುನಾಡಿನ ಒಳಗಡೆ, ಮಾಹೆ ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ನ್ ಕೋಸ್ಟಲ್ ಉಂಟು ಕೇರಳದ ಒಳಗಡೆ. ಆದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ it is the part of Mahe is the part of Puducherry, because Puducherry, it was ruled by whom? The French up to 1954. ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಮತ್ತು 7 ವರ್ಷ ಫ್ರೆಂಚರು ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ರೂಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಪುದುಚೇರಿ, ಕಾರೈಕಲ್ಲು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮಾಹೆ. ಕಾರೈಕಲ್ಲು ಕೂಡ ತಮಿಳುನಾಡಿನ ಒಳಗಡೆನೆ ಉಂಟು, ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದು ತಮಿಳುನಾಡಿನ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪುದುಚೇರಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಅದೇ ಯೂನಿಯನ್ ಟೆರಿಟರಿಗೆ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಅಂತಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇವು 3 ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಆ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಷನ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಗೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಪುದುಚೇರಿ, ದೆನ್ ಮಾಹೆ, then third comes your Karaikal. Okay, then fourth comes your Chandranagar, children. Chandranagar is located in West Bengal, and again another place in West Bengal, it is Kasim Bazar. Okay, then that day you have learnt about Machilipattanam, no? Machilipattanam or Masilipattanam, it is located in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so Masilipattanam. Then in Orissa there was a place, now also it is called Balasur. Okay, what is its name? Balasur. So in these places, French East India Company established its trading centers. Okay, so let me repeat the names of the French trading centers in India. First Puducherry, second comes your Mahe. Mahe you remember, because about Mahe again we are going to discuss in our next history lesson. Okay, so you remember Mahe. Then comes Karaikal. Fourth comes your 2 places in West Bengal, Chandranagar and Kasim Bazar. Next comes your Machilipattanam, located in Andhra Pradesh, and last one is Orissa's Balasur. In these places, French established their trading centers. Okay, then the governor, French governor, about whom you have to remember. Okay, so it is Dupleix. What was his name? Dupleix, Duplex. He was called Dupleix. About him you have to remember, he was a very ambitious person, and because of his ambitious nature itself, French fought 3 wars with English in India. They are called Carnatic Wars. Okay, so Carnatic Wars, they were the 3 wars which indirectly took place between French and English in India. And these Carnatic Wars, results of these Carnatic Wars led to the downfall of French in India. Understood? So do play, who you have to remember? It is do play, only one governor general. Portuguese ಆದ್ರೆ 3 governor generals ಅನ್ನ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರಿ. ಅಲ್ಫಾನ್ಸೋ ಡಿ ಅಲ್ಬುಕರ್ಕ್, ಫ್ರಾನ್ಸಿಸ್ಕೋ ಅಲ್ಮೆಡಾ, ಬ್ಲೂ ವಾಟರ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಅವನಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹಿಂದೆ ವಾಸ್ಕೋ ಡ ಗಾಮ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರಲ್ವಾ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನೀವು ಒಬ್ಬೊಮ್ಮೆ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ನೆನಪಿಟ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. ಹೂ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್? ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡೂ ಪ್ಲೇ. ಓಕೆ, yes. So again I will share the screen for you, go through it. French.
Duplicate ಇದ್ದ
Duplicate ಗಿಂತ ಹಿಂದೆ. Yes, once you go through it, children. Next one. Still go through it. Duplé came to India in the year 1742. Okay, 1742. Okay. Take it. Okay. So you have understood so far. You have understood about the advent of English to India and the advent of French to India. Now we have to understand about the competition between the French and English in India. Okay. So what happened? How French lost their power in India, that we have to understand in our next part of the lesson. For that we have to study. We have to study about the history of South India. There, the wars took place between the French and the English in Carnatic region. Okay, so can you see the green part there, children, in the map? So it was called Carnatic region, not our Karnataka. It was called Carnatic region during that time, and its capital city was Arcot. Okay, now Arcot is located in Tamil Nadu region. So this region was called Carnatic region, and the main place, another main place is there, that is your Hyderabad. Hyderabad. You know, no, children, Hyderabad is located in Andhra Pradesh. Okay, so Hyderabad, these two are very important places. The competition between the French and the English led to 3 wars in this region of South India. Okay, now let us understand what was the condition, political condition in this region at that time. Okay. Screenshot. Okay, so what was happening in Carnatic region then? So now what happened? It was the time of some 1724. Okay, 18th century was started. Your famous ruler from Mughal, one of the strongest rulers from Mughals, had died in the year 1707. Aurangzeb had died in the year 1707. So Aurangzebana subordinate region yavadagittu? Hyderabad region. Hyderabad region was under the control of Aurangzeb, Mughals. It was under the control of Mughals. After the death of Aurangzeb, Mughal empire became very weak. Okay, the Mughal emperor could not control Hyderabad from Delhi. That is why Hyderabad's ruler Asaf Jah, what was his name? Asaf Jah, children. Okay, so this Asaf Jah, he was the subordinate of Mughals. Asaf Jah, when Mughal empire became weak, he declared himself as independent, and he established what? He established his own kingdom. He established Hyderabad. So this is the story of Hyderabad. Then comes your Carnatic region. Carnatic region ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತಪ್ಪ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ it was the part of Hyderabad region, means under Asaf Jah, Carnatic region was there, and Asaf Jah had appointed a person called Dostali as the ruler of Carnatic region. Dostali was the subordinate of Asaf Jah, but he was not loyal. Okay, he was not loyal to Asaf Jah. Then what happened? Okay. We will continue in our next meeting. Now the meeting is going to end. Same link. Join with the same link, children.